Hi, I'm Tom Scarpello of Revology Cars, and this is car number 268, a 1967 Shelby GT350 in dark blue metallic with silver frost Le Mans stripes. Today I'm going to take you on a walk around of this car and we're going to go for a drive. Let's get started. Okay, 1967 Shelby GT350, dark blue metallic, a great color for the 67 Shelby. This car's equipped with the VN 427 wheels. That's a 17 by 9.5 wheel, and it rides on a 275 section width tire. So a lot of contact patch there and a very aggressive appearance. Silver stripes look great on the dark blue metallic. At the rear, you have the only tip that you're not looking at an original GT350 is the Borla exhaust poking out from the rear valance. At the interior, this is a Porsche leather, the blue color interior that matches the exterior. It's just a really nice monochrome treatment. This car is equipped with the console delete option, so it has more of an original look on the inside. But what is really unique about this particular car is something that you cannot see. It is the window regulator. So I'm going to geek out on the window regulator now. It is the set of components that allows the window to move up and down. This is something that you don't really think about until it fails. The window regulators in the 1960s Mustangs are like everything else in the 1960s Mustangs. The technology is 60 years old. Like everything else in the automotive industry, the technology has evolved. These window regulators were designed as roll-up windows, not as power windows. But nowadays, people want power windows. So there are a few companies engaged in making kits to retrofit power windows to vintage cars. And we've used the kits that are on the market, we've tested them all, and the one that we've been using is the best on the market. But we still had a high failure rate on window regulators in the field, so about 4% failure. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider we've delivered over 250 cars, that's more than 10 customers that have had a power window failure. And it's pretty frustrating that your power window is stuck either up or down on your $300,000 car. So that's clearly not acceptable. So we realized that the only solution was to design an entirely new window regulator system in-house, and that's exactly what we've done. Now, as we do on just about every aspect of the vehicle design, we look to the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer market, because this is where you find technology that has been developed and tested and proven out, reliable, and the parts are available and can be sourced reliably. So we looked at this as a clean sheet approach. So we didn't start with the 1960s scissor type regulator. We actually started with a modern OEM cable type regulator. So this modern OEM system bolts up to a new door interior panel that we designed. It has a modern motor with improved torque output, dual guides with coated rails for reduced friction, and better sound quality during operation. So essentially we transplanted the modern OEM system into the 67-68 door. It's a pretty major redesign of the door to make it work, but the results are worth it. So now you have a modern window regulator. The window moves up and down smoothly. It doesn't judder. It's quiet, less weight, and importantly, it's very reliable. The classic problem that we're faced with every time we want to integrate modern technology into this 1960s vehicle architecture, there's so many things that are controlled by modules that didn't exist 60 years ago, and we have to find places to put this stuff. But we were able to package it into the door. We had to design new door panel cards, and a lot of things have to change. It's an entire system that had to be developed so that everything works together properly. So why would we do this? It's a lot of work and you don't even see it. The reason is that if you're going to drive the car, it's important. The closures are one of the most difficult areas of the vehicle because of the potential for squeaks, rattles, wind noise, water ingestion. And getting the closures right make the difference between an average car and an excellent car. You know, I always say that our cars are made to be driven. They look great parked in your garage, but that's not what they're built for. So this is just another example of what makes us different. This focus, this attention to detail on things that you don't even see and you wouldn't appreciate unless you own the car and you use it. Cars are about driving, and that's what it's all about. So speaking of driving, let's go for a drive. Okay, so we're driving car 268. You know, a lot of people ask when we're going to start selling parts again, and I would really like to do it this year. It's just that we've been so busy with production, and the thing is, so many things that we have designed for Revology Mustangs and Shelby GTs, they're really so integrated into the vehicle that it's difficult to make them as a aftermarket installation kit on an original Mustang. Like this window regulator. The development process was pretty intense, and it's taken us about a year to actually have this system in production because there's just a lot to it, you know, and to make sure that it works and it works properly, there's a lot of validation involved. We've done several prototypes, including one that was really interesting. We took a door, a 67, 68 door, cut the Class A surface out so you could actually see into the door and you could watch the window as it went up and down. You know, it reminds me of a story I read about the Civil War. In the Civil War, apparently there was some soldier that had been hit by a cannonball, and it hit him in such a way that it tore part of his stomach out, but he survived, and it left a flap that the doctors could like lift up and they could see inside and understand how the body works, because up until that time they had never actually been able to see inside a body. Of course, they didn't have x-rays or anything like that. Our door is a little bit like looking inside that Civil War soldier's body. Is it possible to retrofit this into an original Mustang? Yes, anything's possible. It will retrofit. It's just there's a lot of work associated with doing it because our cars are really designed as a system. You know, we don't design the parts to make them easy to install because we would have to compromise the design in order to do that. We design the parts so that they work best on our vehicle. So it's designed as part of a package. It's called systems engineering. Then it's optimized for this particular application, but then by definition, it's not going to be optimized to be easy to install on an original car. Like anything in engineering, it's a compromise, it's a trade-off. You have to decide what's the purpose, what are you trying to achieve? In our case, we're trying to build the best 1960s Mustangs and Shelby GTs that the world has ever seen. That's our objective. So we design the components to make the cars great. And then if they work in the aftermarket, well, fantastic. That's just a bonus, but that's not the objective. And that's a really important thing that differentiates Revology from everyone else out there.